So I've been waiting to get my hands on Iden here for a while. Now, you might know Iden from Battlefront 2, which was a Star Wars video game. And so Legion is branching out and making sure it's got representation from all the properties. We've got our handy instruction guide here with how to assemble. And I love how they do the little rules breakdown here for any new mechanics. So just in case you've been having a hard time keeping up with things, counterpart, covert ops, infiltrate, loadout, sharpshooter, scatter, shield tokens, all of that's explained here so that you can easily keep up with what's going on in the game. But let's take a look at what's actually inside the box. There we go. So we got our bases. Of course, you're gonna need those. Since Star Wars Legion, the base sizing does matter for the range rulers. And here we have our sprues. And we've got multiple configurations that you can run Iden and ID-10 with, her little droid companion. And so it looks like we've got some customization. I don't know what I'm gonna go with here. So if you take a closer look here, you can see we've got the faces and the masks. There we go, and I don't know. And then down here, oh look, there's the additional helmet with the respirator. I don't know what to go with. And since she comes with multiple loadouts, you can have a sniper configuration and more of like an assault weapon for closer encounters. And then you have little droid legs over here. So if you're a novice hobbyist and you started off with Star Wars Legion, maybe you got the original trilogy core box, those really snap together, nice and easy, not a lot of options, but super easy to assemble. Well now, as you're growing as a hobbyist, these newer expansions coming out are a little bit more complicated. And so if it's your first time jumping into Star Wars Legion, that can sometimes be a little daunting, but even here, it's pretty simple. And once again, going back, one of the things they do great with this game is that they give you plenty of instructions. So we've got the parts labeled, the different helmets. So it looks like there's 3 different helmets you could possibly use. And depending on what sort of facing you want. And in the end, I think actually the customization is maybe one of the best parts of this. And you got all the tokens that you'll need to play the game, so that's great. And then we have our equipment cards. So a lot of generic cards here, and I'll throw those up on the screen. And with these units, I think the most interesting ones by far are the Iden Versio specific ones, the DLT-20A rifle and Iden's TL-50 repeater. Now, the rifle is going to allow you to reach out and touch the opponent at long range. So it's got infinite range on 2 black dice. That's going to allow you to hit them with high velocity, ignoring dodge tokens, and it has Pierce 1. So this is going to be a great way for you to, get her up in a tower, ready to shoot someone, and reach across the board and put out that consistent damage. But you got to watch out because natively she doesn't have sharpshooter, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get shots through cover. But she does have that long range weapon to really put out the hurt. Now, the other option is the TL-50 repeater. Now, this is a much more aggressive, close quarters, range 1 to 3, 2 red, 1 black, 2 white weapon. And it's got critical 1, so you can convert 1 surge to a critical hit result. And it's got impact 1, allowing you to convert a hit to a crit, so it can push out some damage onto armor. Now, both these weapons are amazing, and you can build her in a variety of ways, and that's really cool. So that actually builds into her specific card stats. She's got, at 100 points, quick thinking, which allows her for 1 action to gain an aim and a dodge token. So rather than her just getting one or the other, she can be much more efficient here. And the dodge token pairs really well with nimble, and the aim token not only is going to help her get out more damage because the Imperial forces love aim tokens, but also because she has marksman. And marksman basically allows you, after you've converted all your surges and hits, change a blank result to a hit result or a hit result to a critical result. So these aim tokens, you spend 1 for 1 for those changes. So the more aim tokens she has, the better it's going to be entirely. Now, she also has the covert ops ability, which allows her to, when deployed, be treated like an operative. If you do that, you gain the infiltrate ability. So you might have a table that has a cool tower and you want to get a sniper up there to have a great purview over the battlefield. Well, that's exactly what you can do to get her up there. Or maybe you want to be really aggressive and get her up there to guard a objective that you're worried your opponents, a recon intel fast movers are going to try and grab early on. You can be a little bit of a deterrent there, or maybe even hunting their other infiltrators. Regardless of what you do, she's got choices there. And what makes these choices work is the flexibility given to her by the loadout ability. So you saw those 2 previous weapons. any equipment. So when you build out a list with her, you build out a profile with her weapon and any upgrades, and you can choose comparable upgrades, as in same point values, and make a whole different build of her. And when you go to deploy, you can determine which of these Iden Versio kits you want to have her have. So that is absolutely phenomenal. And it allows you, and especially in like tournament play or situations where you have to have kind of like a one list fits all, you don't know what your opponent's going to be. You maybe have to face, a variety of different challenges and tables that you don't have a lot of foresight on. Well, now you can be prepared for any and all of those obstacles. She also has got her Seeker Droid as a companion. It's an additional 15 points, and it comes with a comm slot. And it's got 1 health, but don't worry, because it's small, it really can't be individually targeted. And so essentially what you're paying for is a unit that'll let you take an additional command card. We'll see that in a second. But it also gives you a shield. So 1 shield token, and when it recovers, it gets to flip that inactive shield token over. So it gives her a little bit more survivability, because she only has 6 health only. That's still pretty good. But that extra shield will help her a lot. Her red armor defense does not surge to defend, although she does surge to hit. All right, so now we get to the fun part here, looking at these command cards. And we're going to start with Pulse Scan. If you played the video game Star Wars Battlefront 2, she has like a scan that lets you see what enemies are around her. And this is exactly that. And what it does is it gives her Sharpshooter 2, something that she's kind of sorely missing. She doesn't have a lot of ways to push damage through cover. And so maybe you're going to be up on a sniper's perch with a sniper rifle. Now you've got Sharpshooter 2, and you get a free aim token, so you can use that with Marksman. At the end of her activation, she gains 1 dodge token and 1 standby token. So once again, that sniper scenario, it might be a spot where it's going to be hard for your opponent to put out any suppression on her and knock that standby token off, so she can be sniping and then threatening folks across the board. Or if you're really careful with your positioning, you might have her repeater rifle instead, and you're going to be in a spot where you can just blast a squad that's in cover with your aim token, and then gain a standby and a dodge, a little bit of survivability, a little bit of insurance, and if you can catch another unit unawares or unprepared, you can get another shot off on them. A little bit trickier that way, but totally valid. Now, at the 2-pip, we have Concussive Blast. And when Iden Versio activates, she recovers, which is always helpful, right? Clear off suppression. You get a little shield pip with your ID10 droid. And during her activation, she gains the following weapon. And that weapon is a range 2 weapon with 5 red dice. And remember, she has Surge to hit. And it also has Blast, meaning you're going to ignore cover. Scatter, meaning when you shoot the unit, you get to actually reposition them into cohesion. You get to move any defending non-leader mini. So most of the squad, you could then reposition out into the open. They get knocked out there. And then it's also suppressive. So you can set up some pretty good situations for you there, changing the board state in this one round. Now, you do have to be close, but that's a great 2-pip to drop down. It is a competitive tier, though. And then Iden Versio also has Tactical Strike at 3 pips. And this is one of my favorite ones, because it's not a selfish command card. It's not just like only impacting her like the other 2. In this case, Iden Versio is targeted and 3 troopers. And when Iden Versio or a friendly specialist unit that has a face-up order token activates, it may reduce its maximum speed to 1. And if it does, it gains steady and tactical 1. So it kind of comes in like a mini snow trooper unit. You move forward 1, you get a free shot at the end of your move, and tactical 1 gives you a aim token when you move. So, she loves the aim tokens. This is going to be great for her, but you could also use this on Death Troopers. When Inferno Squad's out, I'm sure it'll synergize well with them. I mean, look at that card art. It is just gorgeous. And then finally, we have ID10's little command card. It's a 2-pip. And this is a pretty competitive tier. And this is a really cool card, but it's going to be one that has a high skill ceiling. So it may be one that, you don't often get to use a lot, or maybe not successfully. And so it does have to be used from ID10. If for some reason you didn't take them, you don't get to use this. And so during Iden Versio's activation, you may choose an enemy trooper unit at range 1 and in line of sight of ID10 Seeker Droid. The unit gains 3 suppression tokens. Then that is a core unit that is not activated this round. Assign it a face down order token from its order pool, or flip its order token face down. So you basically just take a regular core trooper unit and say like, nah, you don't get to activate this turn. And it's got the fleet troopers in there. That would be an excellent target, something scary that gets up close. But remember, it's like, 6-round game if you're playing the 800-point version, and suddenly, this person just loses a whole turn of that unit. That can be devastating, especially if there's someone that dumps a lot of points on their units. And so it's like a fully kitted, upgraded unit. That can stink. Now, this is phenomenally powerful. The reason why I'm not super keen about it is 2 pips. That's a pretty competitive level when it comes to other command cards. And there's a lot of like preconditions here, right? You got to be within range 1. You got to make sure that the secret droid can have line of sight. Maybe that's not so problematic, but you're in that danger zone, right? And so if you're thinking in an ideal situation of using this on a fleet trooper squad, like, maybe there are other options and other things you could be doing that would just like let you kill that squad. But this certainly gives you like that safety net. So, maybe I'm wrong on this one. It just seems like it's one that's going to take a little bit of planning and so situationally good that if that situation doesn't arise and you're not able to build that board state, it could be challenging. So that'll be something I take a few times in practice, but I could totally see myself getting into trouble trying to force that board state. And so those are the cards for Iden Versio. I really haven't decided how I want to build her out yet. There's so many choices here. But let me know how you built her out in the comments below. And if you like the Star Wars content in this format, we're trying different things out. Let us know, like and subscribe. And in the meantime, we hope you get your miniatures on the table.